What's up, guys? We're gonna bang it for you guys today. Got 5 top SMGs that you should be using in Warzone right now, plus 2 honorable mentions that you guys can use as well. Now, these guns have been very good. It's a very open market right now. There's a very big list of competitive guns, a very big list of top meta guns. And right now, for our ending of Season 5, it has really been just an all-out war for the top picks and what we want to do. I've been looking at all the stat changes. I've been looking at all the win rates, the pick rates. So this is my list of the top 5 SMGs that we should be using at the moment. So I hope you guys enjoy. If you guys do, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit those notifications. You guys know when I'm posting. That way you can always catch up on the Warzone meta. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. All right, guys, let's get into these top 5 SMGs for Season 5 right now. It's really just an open market right now. Honestly, we got a bunch of stuff to go over. So first off, in rank 1 is going to be, of course, the HIPFIRE PPSH. They buffed this PPSH, and now it's back to being the broken SMG. So first off, we're going to start with the oil can suppressor. This helps more with the vertical and recoil, plus giving you a more damage range to fight some mid-range fights without having the ADS. Another good part of this is 230mm barrel helps with hipfire accuracy, hipfire recoil control, recoil recovery, and gives you more fire rate. This thing is a fast firing gun. I like putting slate reflector on. People think putting the G16 that gives extra accuracy does anything. It does not do anything with the hipfire. It only helps when you ADS, and even when you ADS this gun, there's gonna be so much recoil to it that you can't really do anything. So it's better just to be hip fired. On top of that, we're using the remove stock. Yes, it looks like it's got a back end on it, but the skin we have on it is from the King Kong versus Godzilla event. This thing looks like it has it. It does not. It is the remove stock with hipfire accuracy, movement speed, and sprint to fire time. Another good point is the underbarrel. We're running the carbon foregrip, vertical recoil control, hipfire accuracy. Another good point, we have the 8mm non-boost 70-round mags for the increased fire rate, recoil control. People have been thinking about doing the 7.62. I personally don't think it'll be any good. Yes, it does up your damage, but the speed you get from the 71-round Nambu rounds is just way better. We're using hollow point because the gun does, the spread goes everywhere. You're going to hit limbs, you're going to hit the head, you're going to hit your chest. So you want to go the limb damage instead of doing subsonic. Next, we're doing pine tar for more recoil control and hipfire accuracy. I'm running tight grip for the sustained fire. People are running fleet to get more movement speed. But I really like just running the tight grip. It helps with the recoil control if you do have to aim in. The other one is quick, of course. Every standard SMG from Vanguard uses this. So our next one is actually the Armadillo, the Armaguerra. Yeah, it received a bunch of nerfs, but is still really good. I've been using it constantly, especially with my meta loadouts and stuff like that. So at first, we're going to use the recoil booster, of course, to increase the fire rate. The Amaretto 180mm short, instead of using the Bottle 315 CI to give you the extra damage, the short gives you a better movement speed, plus gives you that nice strafe speed. Slate reflector, of course. The Amaretto TA skeletal, which gives you aim walking move speed, aim down sight, and initial fire and recoil. This is straight up a strafe build. We got the SG98 compact, again, more aim walking movement speed, reduced scope sway, and gun bob. I'm actually running the 8mm 72 round mag. Gives you more damage and bullet velocity. Yes, it increases your fire rate, and people are still using the 9mm 60 round, but the 72 round actually makes it way more powerful. Not a lot of people know that right now, but it's really good. You guys should be trying this out. It is so good. On top of that, I'm using hollow point instead of subsonic. I really like getting the limb damage because I don't always get the headshots, so the limb damage really helps me out. Next, we're using grooved grip. Can't talk. We got the aim walking move speed, horizontal recoil control, ADS fire move speed, and aim stability to help out with that strafe build. We're using hard scope, I've been kind of back and forth between steady, getting that ADS firing move speed, and the recoil control. With the 72 rounds, I would use hard scope. With the 60 round, I would use steady. Just a whole lot better for the 72 rounds to get the recoil control. On top of that, of course, we're using quick again for the Vanguard SMGs. Gotta use it. Gotta have that sprint speed. Gotta be mobile. So now we move on to our third, which is the Blicky, because it's getting sticky. We got recoil control, recoil booster, fire rate, less accuracy. We're actually using the Johnson 9-inch Armaguerra because you get damage range, and bullet velocity. Yes, you lose a lot of hip fire and you lose headshot damage, but gaining the extra damage for the regular thing really helps out, especially if you're using like subsonic or using the limit damage ammunition. Of course, we got the slate reflector. Remove stock for the extra move speed. People have been using the Bergstrom MB for the hipfire actually and movement speed to kind of get the control back. But I honestly like the movement speed way better. It doesn't bounce as much as it normally does. The SG98 compact, you got to have that strafe speed on with build. Strafe right now is just broken. People can't catch up to it. Your aim assist gets broken on controller. Of course, we're using the 54 round Gorinko mag. We get more recoil control, increased torso damage. So basically, you want to be able to hit the chest constantly and not worry about headshots with this build. We got the tape grip, aim stability, movement speed, weapon swap quickness, and sprint to fire time. Gotta have it when you're playing Fortune's Keep or Rebirth Island, just because there's so much going on. Next, we use Fleet with weapon swap quickness and movement speed. Again, on the more movement speed, the better. You can run Perfectionist to try to get rid of that bounce and control of the recoil, but I still like using Fleet. Quick for more sprint speed, of course, on any Vanguard weapon. We've been saying it constantly. Our next up, we're using the MP40. This is rank 4. The top 4 pick rate right here. We're going in order. We got the recoil booster, of course, with the fire rate. We got the VDD 189mm short. Gives us damage range, bullet velocity, and limb damage. You'll see a lot of this with the Vanguard weapons is just focusing on limb damage rather than getting the chest, headshot stuff. Of course, slate reflector, as always. We got the Krushnik 30mm folding. Gives us that sprint to fire time and movement speed. People still use the remove stock, but I feel like the hipfire accuracy has been really downgraded with its recent nerfs to the MP40. I am using the Mark 7 skeletal for the aim speed and movement speed. Some people are using the Carver foregrip. Some people are actually using the Smile pistol grip because, so with the attachments from True Game data, we've actually been finding out that some of these attachments actually do more for certain weapons than they would do for, let's say, the Blicky. So really right now, the Blicky could run the Smile pistol grip in the SG Combat and do the same thing. You guys can go check that out at True Game data and check out what is the best attachment for the guns and actually figure out, what's actually going on in our world of Warzone here. We're using the 7.62 45 round mag, extra fire rate, more recoil control, and of course movement speed. I'm using subsonic, that way I'm not pinging on the map, of course. Got the tape grip, aiming stability, movement speed, weapon swap quickness, and sprint to fire time. A growing trend on the SMGs from when it got buffed, and they got nerfed, and they got buffed again, and then nerfed again. We're going back and forth on that. I like running momentum on my MP40s. Move speed after getting kills is so much better than, let's say, Perfectionist. You really don't need the recoil control for the MP40. It's very straight and narrow. You don't need brace. Unmarked might be a good thing to use, but honestly, momentum, getting move speed after kills is probably the best bet you can get. And of course, perk 2 is quick on any of these Vanguard weapons, like saying. On top of that, let's go for our 5th, which will be the Marco. And of course, again, recoil booster on any SMG from Vanguard. We're using the Perfetto Lesto 355mm. Helps with movement speed, sprint to tire time. This is all about a mobile build here. We got a slate reflector. We got the Amaretto FR. That helps us with our initial fire recoil recovery, aim down sight speed, and movement speed. This thing's all about mobility. That's why we're using the Mark 7 skeletal for more movement speed. Some people have been using the Smile pistol grip, and some people have been using the SG98 compact. They're all three very viable type of weapons, depending on what you want to do. If you want to do a strafe speed build, you want to do a mobility build, the Marco is still ranked 5th in the pick rates right now, and it's ranked 7th in the win rate area. We got the 8mm non-boost 64 rounds, helps with hipfire accuracy, recoil control. Yes, you lose some bullet velocity, but honestly, not that much. Even if you go for the 48 round mag, you don't actually lose too much range or too much velocity here. The next thing is subsonic. You don't want to get pinged on the map. Tape grip for more movement speed, aim stability, and sprint to fire time. Same as the MP40. There's not that much recoil. If it is manageable. So I really like using momentum or frenzy, especially getting in the quad and trios. Frenzy is really great for getting these 1 kills, getting out, plating back up, and taking the fight back to them. Next we run quick. And then this is our honorable mention. Now this just got released in season 5, the Raw 225. Did a video on it recently. It was a lot of fun. Thing is great. It honestly is one of the more overpowered weapons coming into Warzone. Super late with its fire time. Its ETA is very high, and that's why it's on the honorable mention list. So again, like any Vanguard weapon, we're using a recoil booster for the fire rate. We're using the Urban Rapid for more fire rate. Plate reflector, best picture sight. We're using the Urban Tack for that initial fire recoil and idle sway. It really helps out with this gun because when you're kind of running around and turning corners, the gun kind of bobs away. Next, we're actually using 1930 strafe angled, so the recoil control with this gun makes it very wobbly. So using the strafe angled is a lot better than, let's say, running the compact or the Mark. People are still running the skeletal for more movement speed. Another thing is the 38 rounds. Now this gun is very it's good, but it's very bad with trios and quads because of how many rounds. You don't really want to use the 55 round, but with the 38 rounds using fire rate and everything like that, I kind of have a different build to kind of combat that, and I like to use sleight of hand rather than using tight grip. Of course, we're using subsonic so we don't ping on the map. Tape grip, that way we're still moving around the map, zipping around like we're the damn Flash. We got tight grip for the accuracy during sustained fire. Like I said, I like using sleight of hand. You can even do momentum if you really wanted to. And of course, quick. Our second honorable mention is back to the Modern Warfare area. We're using the MP5. We're using not Nick Merck's favorite hipfire build. I actually been liking using the ADS build, which is the monolithic suppressor, which gives us the extra damage range and sound suppression on top of the 5mm laser to give us the hipfire and sprint to fire time. The AFTAC collapsible for more movement speed and an aim down sight speed. Yes, it makes it bounce a lot more, but it's completely and utterly manageable. Of course, the Merc foregrip for the recoil control and hipfire. Basically, this build, I just want to be able to push a little bit more range out compared to using the monolithic suppressor on the barrel. And of course, the 45 round mag. Now, I've been seeing people use the 10mm mag because it has more damage, but honestly, trios and quads, it would have very bad time because of the 30 round mag compared to the 45 round mag. The MP5 still kind of sucks when it comes to trios and quads, but at least you'll have a little bit better of a time. Other than that, if you guys like this video, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit those notifications. You guys know when I'm posting, that way you guys can see these type of content and be on top of the meta in Warzone. Appreciate it, guys. Have a good day. Later.